All right, we should finish our coding in this next one. So let's see what we're going to do. All right, so this stops our loop. And what we're going to do now is we're going to say, well, what are we going to do if no error occurs? So we're going to say if error flag equals 0, that means nothing happened. Then we're going to do this. So start no errors. And then, so we know we want at least this part right here. And then we're going to have else, and then stop. All right, so we went ahead and we said, well, the alert, if an error happens, let them know, put an error flag. So what are we going to have, what are we going to do if the error flag is 1? Well, there's not much we can do. We're not going to do the same thing we did last time, and that is stop all our outputs, because our outputs are going to keep going. We don't want to break the program just because one error happens. What we're going to do is we're going to change this right here. So if error flag occurs, well, let's do this first. So this is end of the switch, and we're going to say that if error flag equals 0, no error has occurred. Right, make sure we put our parentheses around this. If no error occurs, then we're going to do this input. Right? And then that's the end of the if it is. Then else, meaning an error has occurred, we're going to actually do two things. The first one we're going to do is another truck equals yes. And the reason why we're doing this another truck equals yes is if they made an error putting in a granite or marble or quartz, they're going to want to re-put it in. So why ask them if there's another truck, because we're still working on the same truck. So what we're going to say is that if nothing occurs, then ask them to another truck. But if an error occurs, let's go ahead and say another truck equals yes. Also reset the error flag. That's important. Or this thing completely breaks. So we're going to reset the error flag to 0. If we don't, when it goes around again, it's going to come right back to this and be in a circle. So if the error flag goes to 1, then 0 isn't in it, so it's going to do this. It's going to automatically put another yes into another truck and then reset the error flag. If nothing goes bad, then it's just going to go ahead and process like normal. So let's go ahead and see how that works. Okay, granite 10. See, so it will all work perfect. Then if I say dog 10, then it gives me the error message. Now, next thing it's going to do is ask me how many, or ask me what type of vehicle is. So you can see that it bypassed the question. And that's one of the reasons why, it's one of the reasons why you have to reset that error flag. If you don't, you've locked yourself in a loop. All right, so that's the end of our error checking. Now we're going to go ahead and figure out what we're going to do once the loop stops. Because there's a lot of stuff we're doing in here that we don't need to do inside the loop. And the only reason why we're doing it inside the loop is because that's the only way we can test it. So let's go ahead and take a look at quartz. The only thing we really need to do inside quartz is the quartz accum. All right, so let's. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Come on. I'm going to copy the quartz, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment it out. Now the reason why I comment it out is that if everything goes a heck in a handbasket, I don't have to rewrite the code. Okay, then I'm going to come down here, and it's going to be, so there's the stop of the loop. So move all this up. All right, so this is the last thing we're going to do before we start doing, well, that's not true. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and paste in what I just copied. So before I do total money, I have to figure out money quartz. But I'm only going to do that once after it's over. Right? And then I have these two alerts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them down to here. And these are, instead of going to be alerts, they're going to be document rights. All right, so now I have my quartz in there, and we can either have it where it does amount quartz and then money quartz, or it could do amount quartz, amounts marble, amounts. But let's just go ahead and do it this way, just because it makes our life a little bit easier. All right, so now I have to go up and get the marble. So I'm going to go up and copy the last 3 lines in marble. Damn it, missed it. Okay, so I'm going to try it again. Copy. And then I'm going to comment them out. And it's pretty safe that I'm not going to hose everything up, but it doesn't hurt anything to have those comments, so that if a person has to modify our code later, they could use these to test their modification. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and paste them here. I'm going to take this math out and drag it up here, because I have to do that before I do this final math. And then I'm going to get rid of, let's see, then I'm going to get rid of this space right here. And then I'm going to grab document right, copy it, paste it in there, paste it in there. All right, so now we have one more thing to do, and that is the granite. So let's go up and get the granite. So I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to comment it out. Again, I don't want running this part because we don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to paste it in. Then I'm going to grab this math, because it has to be done right here. It has to be done before total money. I'm going to get rid of this extra space. And then, I'm missing a parenthesis right there. I don't know how that happened. And then I'm going to copy document right and replace alert with document right. All right, so, oops. All right, try one more time. Control C, Control V. All right, the last thing I need to do before I run this is, starting with the second output, I'm going to have a BR. So I'm going to grab that and copy drag it down to each line, so they all end up on separate lines, or BMS. Great. You can also see our application is going to run a lot faster. I'm going to save it, and let's preview it and see if we've haven't messed this thing up. So we're going to do granite 10, yes. Granite 10, yes. Marble 10, yes. Marble 10, yes. Guess I hate quartz. All right, so we're gonna skip quartz. I guess. I'll try it. Okay, quartz 10. Q-U-A-R-T-Z. Q-U-A-R-T-Z. Uh-oh, that's disconcerting. Oh, it's a Q, not a G. Let's try that again. Q-U-A-R-T-Z. 10. Yes. Sweet. I should have said no. Now I got to do it again. Q-U-A-R-T-Z. 10. No. Okay, so now we're going to see if everything works. Voila. 20, 20, 20. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So that's it. That's how we go ahead and do that. You need to do the same thing. This is the fastest way to develop applications, and that is to test and build and test. If you try to write this whole thing and then hit the preview button, I can tell you that you're going to be spending hours and hours chasing your tail trying to find out where errors are. So heed my warning. This is the most efficient way of doing it. It seems like a lot of extra steps, but it's not. Again, when we do our flowchart using if then else, and has all this inside the decision. Again, these three don't have to be here, but that's how we do it for that. Now down here we also had another thing, is that if error happened, we didn't do this math. Well, we only did that during this. Really, what we needed to do was this is not even done in a switch, but this is the only way we can test it. So that's why our flowchart and our problem statement. Let's take a look at our problem statement. That doesn't look anything like, or very little like, this. And then this looks very little like that. But each one builds in a certain way towards the next step. And that's what you're really trying to learn in this class, is that application development isn't just sitting down and typing random code until it works. What it really is coming up with a plan and then implementing that plan in the most efficient way. And the most efficient way is building and testing as you go along. Okay.